It was the perfect Valentine's surprise. Jonathan brought Madeline to her favorite restaurant. They had a wonderful dinner. And now, Madeline, will you marry me? Jonathan and Madeline have been together since senior year of college. And they've been going strong for 4 years. They truly loved each other. In fact, all their friends were simply waiting for the day they'd decide to tie the knot. It was no surprise. John, before we get married, I want you to meet my dad. He actually invited me over this weekend. It would be the perfect occasion to meet together. You think he'll like me? Of course. He's not going to turn me down. Madeline and her family lived in upstate Wilkins throughout her whole childhood. Her mother passed away when she was only 3, and Madeline was raised by her single father. It took about 6 hours for Jonathan and Madeline to reach her father's cabin Friday evening. It's so beautiful here. Dad and I used to spend a lot of time by that lake. He actually named me after it, Lake Madeline. Dad! Maddie, my little girl. Who's this? This is Jonathan, my fiancé. To Jonathan's surprise, Mr. Collins was more than happy hearing the news. After a warm welcome that night, he prepared a campfire outside of the cabin, and they sat out in the brightness of the fire surrounded by the pitch-dark woods. Isn't this the perfect time for spooky stories, Madeline? Yes, Dad. Madeline loves to hear scary stories by the campfire. She's 25, but the stories still creep her out like when she was 12. Dad, this time I'll tell the stories. It's the legend of Wilkins. The same old story? What is it? I've never heard it. Well, it's about a 10-minute hike from here. There's an old broken-down house out in the middle of nowhere, tucked away right off a narrow road. Tucked away. A long time ago, a rich man lived there. His family owned hundreds of acres of land around there. That man met a simple country girl, and they fell in love. But the man's family disapproved of their relationship, but he didn't pay heed to what his parents said, and he went out and built a small cabin on the middle of nowhere on a portion of their land. He married the girl, and both lived in that house, and their marriage was happy and wonderful. Soon they had a daughter, and eventually, after a few years, they had a son as well. But this was where the whole picture-perfect scene started to go downhill. There was something strange about their son. He had an erratic sleeping pattern. He would often throw temper tantrums, and sometimes he would just go missing for days until his parents would find him living out in the woods. The man was concerned and worried for his son. He didn't know what to do. So, he turned to his family for help. The grandparents took the little boy away and sent him to a special facility. About 8 years later, the boy, then a teen, managed to escape from the facility. He was all alone in the wilderness for days. His family was worried sick. They didn't know if he was alive. The boy, however, wasn't dead. Roaming through the woods, he finally found his way back home. After 8 years, he stepped back into his house on a deep, dark night. That night, he slaughtered his entire family, satisfied his heart after that 8 years of agony. He left the cabin with blood still dripping from his axe and disappeared once again into the woods. A few days later, the remains of his family were discovered, and there was an uproar among the townsfolk. Everyone was horrified. The police were informed, and they vigilantly searched for the boy in every inch and crack of the deep woods. To this day, he has never been found. Since then, every year, around the time for harvest, people have started to go missing. Those people would never be found. But what would be found in their place, every time, was a poorly tied yarn doll. People started hanging yarn dolls in front of their doors for protection, believing if the boy sees those dolls, he will leave in peace. But you guys really don't buy it, do you? Well, Dad doesn't believe it for sure, but I really can't say. Wait a minute. Is that a yarn doll on the door? You too, Madeline? Of course. What if it is true? There's no harm in staying prepared. I guess not. But that's not where it ends, though. People apparently say that the cabin is still haunted with the souls of the murdered family members, and if you go there in the darkness of the night, you can hear their screams. Then maybe we should give it a try. What? No way. You're a daring young lad. After a fun night, everyone had dinner and headed in for the night. The next morning, Madeline's father was up early as usual. He had prepared breakfast for the couple and went out for a swim at the lake. So, what do you want to do today? Hike? You want to go to the haunted cabin? Absolutely not. What's the problem? It's bright day out. And I'm with you. Convincing Madeline, the couple headed out and drove to the spot where the broken down cabin still stood. Madeline had goosebumps the minute she stepped out of the car. There was an eerie presence in the old cabin. The wooden panels were all creaking. Every corner of the house was covered in spider webs and dust. The couple peeked through the house, sifting through the rubble and dirt. As they walked around, Madeline spotted something half buried in the dirt. It was a book. "Jonathan, look, what is this?" Jonathan dug it out and opened it up. Both stared at the yellow, torn-up pages. "Looks like a diary." "Yeah, maybe it's his diary." "Who?" "The psycho murderer." "Stop it, Jonathan." Madeline grabbed the book from Jonathan's hand and began reading it. There's a dedication on the inside of the cover. "To my family, and who will always be with me." The first entry. January 7th, 1966. It's hard to breathe here, but I just have to hold it in for some time. It's cold and it's dark, but what feels good is the medication is finally wearing off. I can finally start seeing everything the way it really is. I'm finally free from this jail, from these torturers. I can hear their footsteps. Sometimes they pass by me, and sometimes they come too close. It makes my heart beat so fast, I'm afraid they might hear me. The second entry. January 12th, 1966. I'm all alone now. I have no family, no one to care for me. But then again, I've always been alone. They never cared for me. They never loved me. And if they can't love me, they have to go. Sweet dreams for everyone. They're all down now. My sister's voice is finally wearing out. Soon, they'll all be off to eternal sleep. The third entry. February 10th, 1966. I think they finally stopped looking for me now. I've been staying out in the woods. Sometimes I chase down the animals here and them to sleep like Mom, Dad, and Sis. I still go back to the old house. No one screams at me anymore. The fourth entry. July 18th, 1971. I've left the woods. I moved to a nearby town. It's not far from home. Nobody knows me here. I hear people sharing my story. They're all scared of me. Kind of makes me laugh inside. Still come to the old house to spend some nights. I think Mom and Dad are finally proud of me. The fifth entry. September 25th, 1980. Life has gotten much better. I got a job. I bought my own house. And even better news, I met someone. She's nice to me. I brought her to the old house. She likes it. I think I'll marry her soon. The sixth entry. June 9th, 1983. Today is the best day of my life. I have a baby girl now. Mom and Dad are finally grandparents. My wife, however, isn't doing so well. Maybe she'll go to sleep soon. It's hard for her. The seventh entry. March 22nd, 1996. I'm so proud of my daughter. She's nothing like me. She doesn't have the problems I do. She's much smarter. She has a lot of friends at school. I take her to the lake often. She likes spending time with me there. I named her after the lake. Madeline. Madeline froze. She stood with Jonathan, absolutely stunned. Madeline? What is this? Is this some sort of joke, Jonathan? This isn't funny, and it's definitely not true. Just then, they heard the crackle of dry leaves and twigs behind them. They turned to see Madeline's father standing there, tears running down his cheeks, and in his hand, a dirty, rusted axe. Dad? That wasn't for you to read, child. But now that you have, there is no way out of it. You have to go to sleep. Don't worry, Madeline. You hold a great place in my memory. Sweet dreams forever. Sweet dreams forever. We'll always be together. You're in a safe place now. My precious, hidden treasure.
If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends and family.